president, still acting unpresidential. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure vented. The times that we living in unprecedented.
Welcome to the Build and Destroy podcast, where we build on what's to come and we destroy what's done.
That part. There you go.
I'm here with the legendary twins, Red Pillar and Blue Pillar, KTL University, Goldwater. I'm here with the legendary brother Tariq, master of the I Ching.
Destiny Grind.
Destiny Grind.
In the building, smoke and grow rich.
You know what I'm saying? Smoke and grow rich. Man, you know, an entrepreneur extraordinaire.
That's right.
You know, I consider everybody at this table an industrialist.
That's what's up.
Yes. Because, you know, that's what we be on. Yeah. Some industrial shit.
Industrious s'mores. Industrious s'mores. I also consider myself a futurist.
A futurist. Explain that to me, Blue.
Myself an Afro-futurist.
You know what? Yes. Explain futurist to me, y'all.
A futurist is somebody with the vision, right, and the insight to see into the future, and not only to quote-unquote predict future events, but also lay the template and explain philosophically why we're heading this particular way. And also, you know, it doesn't hurt if you have some skin in the game.
Woo.
So I don't just sit back and point fingers and make observations. You know what I'm saying? I also participate in getting us to that destination.
Oh, man, and you know, that's something I'm real big on. Y'all notice he said vision. Y'all notice he said vision. Mm-hmm. Vision is one of the key components to manifesting.
Right.
What people always talk about. And then he said he do the work, which means he's a demonstrator.
Right.
You know, not just a conversator.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Or deliberator. That's the worst one of them all. Because go ahead, Red.
An Afro-futurist, the stance that an Afro-futurist takes is our approach to visualizing the future from an African-centered mind state. And when I say an African-centered mind state, I'm really referring to the diaspora, you know, no matter where we find ourselves, being able to paint a picture of us in the present and in the future and in the past simultaneously, you know, in a way different depiction than how we've seen ourselves depicted through the fantasy complex industry, namely Hollywood and things of that nature.
Got it.
So would that be along the lines of a nationalist or a nationalist?
Well, to be honest with you, the beautiful thing about an Afro-futurist, and this was, you know, one of the fathers of Afro-futurism, would be the legend Sun Ra. Right?
Sun Ra.
Yeah, George Clinton with
yes.
Parliament. We could create whatever we want.
The funk.
Right. So we're not necessarily defined as a nationalist or any of these other things. What we can do is we could create a universe of melanated people, right? One of these planets that they find, one of these exoplanets could be filled with us. We could be in some of those spaceships that they're shooting down over Alaska and you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity with our vision now.
Yes.
And now we have the tools that have been provided to us to now shape that vision. So an Afro-futurist is sky's the limit.
Man, you know what? I really love that because that ties into my whole mindset about God. That God is diversity.
Yes.
And you just said it.
Yes.
So
you know, you look around, trees, there's no one tree, there's no one color, there's no one language. Everything is a multitude.
I am an astro-futurist.
Astro-futurist. Tell me about that.
Again, no disrespect to
the Afros.
To the Afro, what have you. But, you know, our forward future conversation entails our galactic origins and our galactic presence And like he said, speaking about our present, our future, and our past makes me quantumly qualified.
Quantumly qualified.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
think
gotta
in
tag that
quantum
one.
perspective, I'm hearing everywhere at the same time. So I'm an astrofuturist. You know, I represent the fact that I am composed of these stars. From the stars from whence I came, south shall I return.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm an astrofuturist.
You are omniscient, omnipotent, and
Yes,
omnipresent.
omnipresent.
Right.
Absolutely.
Feel me?
I like that.
Right.
Brother Tariq, talk to us, man, you know.
I'ma steal that. Yo, I'm like, damn, I didn't even know I was that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what I meant. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't live here. I'm here, but I'm always in the future.
You here, but you there.
I'm in the future,
Right.
bro.
Ooh.
Everything I'm doing is to move towards what I just saw.
Yeah.
I might saw something the other day, and you see me today. I'm today trying to get to what I saw the other day. You see what I'm saying?
right.
I'm like, yo, and like right now, bro. I feel like deja vu.
That
to me,
part.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything that's happening. It's like I'm waiting for all this to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We
This is
been
why I'm
having-
here.
right.
Like, damn, I've seen this
You've been projecting.
since I was a low dude.
Yeah.
You know what
We've
I'm
been
saying?
having these conversations for
Yeah.
10 years. And
Yeah.
we're
Just waiting
definitely-
on the tech to catch up to us.
We're definitely
That
going to
part.
get
You know what I'm
into,
Yeah.
you know, the brevity of that in this conversation. But we have projected ourselves via conversation, the power of the word. Because, you know, the word gets very criticized, even though people are literally sitting here listening to us talk. Right? Words are worlds. So if it was good enough for the Most High to speak things into existence, right? Why should I shortchange myself?
Right.
So-
Absolutely.
And I have to put on the record that I'm affiliated with ass-shaking futurists.
Ash.
Yes.
Oh,
Sisters
them.
who help the quicken by
Wow.
kicking ass. Yeah.
I like that.
Brought the future here.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I like that because that too is a profession that's needed.
What's the science of that?
Science of the ass-shaking futurist is futurists who shake ass. But the science of shaking ass really is speeding up the orbital. Like it's crazy when you break it down. Like there's science
So break
behind
it
that.
down.
That you know,
Because we building and destroying.
right?
And there are often puritanical, quote unquote, beliefs about the negativity of ass shaking. So
Absolutely.
let's build on it.
But they've been ass shaking since ancient times.
Times immemorial.
And the ass shaking in ancient times have created and produced some of the most genius, specimens that have walked this planet. My good brother A.A. Rashid, he often speaks about, the size, the hips of African women,
Melanated women.
melanated women, and the ability
Yes.
to create these craniums. You feel me?
Oh,
How our brains and whatnot.
So recently, science, and I'm sure that we'll be able to provide some of this with the overlay. Science has said the bigger the posterior, the bigger the ability for a mother to birth an intelligent child, because cranium size, right, or the size of the brain is an equivalency to intelligence.
absolutely.
So the larger the girth of the hip size,
Yes.
right, the better ability for them to push out those craniums that we would even consider to be alien craniums.
Yeah,
right.
back in school, I went to school with some guys that we considered, they called them waterheads.
Yeah.
Right.
They had these big heads, and it is a known fact that some of them guys went on to run Fortune 500 companies.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I know these guys, like they went on to run. So it is a known scientific fact that bigger headed people have a higher level of intelligence or are able to access it faster than people with smaller heads.
So now we're talking once again about them utilizing their brains as quantum computers.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And even when we look at the implementation of quantum computing, right, today, it may look like how, in the 60s and the 70s, the IBM computers looked.
The supercomputers
and they're like, why
that
they
filled the
so
room
big
up.
and so clunky?
Right.
You feel me? The D-Wave is a mega demonstration of a quantum computer.
Right.
All of these quantum computers are enormous, even though we're living in the size with chips or microscope.
Absolutely.
Microscopic.
Absolutely.
But the aspect of quantum computing has still not caught up to what they consider to be, that aspect of Moore's laws where things get smaller and more efficient.
Yeah, it definitely will.
I like to comment on this conscious ass shaking thing, right?
Yes.
Now, here's my take on that. Now, when you study the sciences, human behavior,
Yes.
motivation.
Right.
Every day you get out of bed, man, you motivated by something, right? A man get out of bed, he trying to get his bread up.
Right.
Why he trying to get his bread up? For him?
Oh,
He
no.
trying to get the whip.
For that
He
woman.
trying to get all it for
that woman.
For that woman.
ass shaking.
I'm telling you.
Right.
So that's the most powerful motive. Napoleon Hill even called it the science of sex in his in the 17 laws.
That's right.
That's one of the most motivating thing there is. Now,
Right, but what Napoleon Hill was also stressing in the science of sex was not necessarily the overindulgence of it. He was speaking about
Channeling it.
right. He was speaking about being able to observe that which got you motivated, but resisting the urge to just jump into that. Right?
Right.
And in the resistance is where the power was gained.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
It was not in pursuant of it, it was in the resisting of it, knowing that it's there charging you up and
Taming
then
that
being able to
So
Taming that animal.
let's get right into the science.
Because
this is what we're here.
that helps you tame emotion as well.
Yes,
So,
we're
let's-
saying, I'm sorry, Blue, no mean to cut you. We're more so saying about being an alchemist though, right?
Oh yeah, transmuting it.
Transmuting
Yes,
it.
yes,
Rather
yes.
than going the route that we've been taught and trained to go, which is such a mundane route. It's
even-
so simple. Oh, get excited and get aroused and then, spill your seed or, you know what I mean? No, get aroused and then transmute that energy, right? And that stimulation into something more creative. You're creative.
Let's qualify this, right? Because we're dealing with the Build and Destroy podcast. So let's deal with the science of this.
Absolutely.
Let's deal with the astrological import of it. Scorpio is I desire,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And it's also represented by the sexual urges, right? Man is
Lower
driven by his
root
primal nature,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
To
yes.
procreate.
Yes.
Right.
But he's also driven by his desires, right?
Right.
To what? To the impetus, such as the beginning of Aries is represented by, well, at least in Hebrew, by the ox. And the ox always wants to put its thing somewhere. It wants
Right.
to put its primal energy somewhere. So the planet that governs Scorpio is Mars, right? Channeling that aspect of that primal
right.
energy.
That's right.
Man wants to put his extension somewhere to bring forth.
Right.
That's right.
But then he is preceded thus forth by Sagittarius, which
Right.
represents now what? Half man, half animal.
Half animal.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the key of Sagittarius now is to what? Alchemize the sexual energy of Scorpio, which is transmutation and transformation, to bring things that you desire into the material realm.
Absolutely.
By getting into your higher mind and transmitting your animal state into your man state. Hence the fact that he has his arrow, but it's in his right hand because it's pointing upward, dealing with what? Higher consciousness.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel me?
There's a
So
science to it.
we're not, quote unquote, making this up because it's written in the canopy of the sky, put there by the Most High or whoever has been responsible for this beautiful design that we all live underneath, receiving the blessings. No questions.
And everything that you said is a blueprint. And that's why I always say, man, if the most important thing in this world is created, through sex, life. What else can you use that blueprint to create? And that's just what y'all speaking on, but using it in a different way. You know, like you said, restrain, you know, anything that you resist, it's going to make you stronger.
Right.
If you resist, you know, cursing, if you resist, you know, thinking the wrong way, if you resist the urge to react, like it's like building up a ball of, you can.
If
y'all
you
remember
resist that,
you know,
if you resist getting down from the pull-up bar,
absolutely.
if you resist not taking that one last, you know, on the bench, one last press, right? You now have crossed that threshold that in you know, trainers will tell you that was the workout. Those 2 pumps that you gave,
that was it.
That was the workout.
That was it. Because guess what? You went to maximum muscle failure or capacity.
You broke the mold and crossed
that
the
second
threshold.
win.
And also, in the words of my good Christians, if you resist the devil, he will what? Flee from you.
Flee. And yes, thank you for that reminder. Allegorically,
Yes.
if we can simplify, you know, the literalism of religion,
Absolutely.
right? If we can simplify the literalism of religion and express the allegory, then we too are turning water into wine.
Absolutely.
So that's what that means, you know, in the quote unquote Bible, in the book of the Son.
Yes, sir.
You know, the quote unquote devil
Yep.
represents
the lower
temptation,
qualities.
right?
Right.
Yes.
The lower qualities.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
and overcoming those desires and those temptations and those lower qualities, you know, allows you to reach into your Christ self or your Christhood or your higher self or your
Christ consciousness.
higher
Man.
mind or your Christ consciousness. You know,
Man, I'm so-
man shall ascend the
room.
mountain like the goat in Capricorn on the right side, right? And proclaim it. I have made it to the mountaintop.
Right.
And that's the whole science behind Jesus is being tempted in the wilderness for the devil, by the devil.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was. It said he resisted the devil, and then the angels came and administered to him.
Right.
The higher thoughts came and administered to him.
Right. So-
you know, so you know, when I always tell people, I'll be like, hey man, Jesus was out there with the courtesans and the thieves and the prostitutes. Man, when he went in the wilderness, homie, he was horny.
Right.
He was horny, man. He wanted to indulge in some of this.
Right.
But
And
he had to
according
set
to-
the example,
right.
so he had to
Again.
withdraw to recharge his battery.
And according to scripture, I see Tariq giving me that look. We got to shift to the next subject.
Nah. I mean, go
Yeah.
in.
You know, according to
I'm
scripture,
tired of all
once again, we're not going to deal with the literalism. We're going to give the interpretation. So in the book of the Gospel of St. Thomas, right, when he speaks about Jesus spending the majority of the ending of his days and his times with Mary Magdalene, right?
Mag the Stallion.
Right? He was
Mag the Stallion.
he was getting very familiar with her.
Like the stallion.
Right? He was getting very familiar with her. He kept great company with her. And he was giving up his secrets.
Absolutely.
If you can interpret what that means. And Peter
Yes.
was complaining, you know, damn, you spending too much time over there with Mary. And she had to go to the big homie like, yo, your dude is a hater. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's like, you know what I'm saying? These dudes ain't getting none. And you know, they want for me what I got for you. Pause. You know, and unfortunately, the Thomasins or Thomasinians lost out to Peter, and he becomes the rock of the church. And the energy and the attitude that he represents show you the foundation that they built the church upon. He was a hater, and the church also is an institution that represents the suppression of femininity that they weren't able to quote unquote understand or put into check, so they suppressed it,
Right.
never attempting to transmute it, right, into what it represents. Feminine energy represents right brain energy, which is creativity
It is manifest-
by way of manifestation, intuition,
Material realm.
right, art, music, and all of these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ashe.
And you know what? If you want to read more about those secrets that he's talking about, go pick up the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't read it, you need to read it.
Right.
The Gospel of Mary Magdalene reveals, like he was sitting here spitting at it, and I'm like, man, it's all in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. She spoke on this, the jealousy of Peter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of these different things, the jewels that the Christ was giving her.
So that suppression
yeah.
of sexuality and femininity expresses itself as homosexuality in the church.
Right.
You know, today
Perversion.
the perversion. And again, I'm not making any judgment call about anybody's orientation or sexual preference. I'm saying in the church, if they stand in objection to it but participate in it, and all of this has been revealed by Pope Benedict's posthumous book that he's released. He said that the church is a bastion for homosexuality. They have homosexual clubs in there.
Right.
You feel me? This is not my words. This is coming out of the mouth of the ex-pope.
And what's that book?
His book is called the Way of Christianity or something of that nature.
Y'all need to go pick that up, man. Really.
But it currently is only in Italian, but there's a lot of interpretation they can find online because this was the conversation.
Going to be interpreted.
Just get AI to translate it for you. Just get AI to translate it for you.
Taking place in the Vatican right now. You know what I'm saying?
Shaking the Vatican.
So yeah, shaking the Vatican up. So so you just segued that we don't got time for man to get around to interpreting it when now we have machine
AI,
right,
baby.
in real time. They could give us what it is that we need. Right, which is the information, and the information could save a nation, right? Because sometimes this information is pressing. You're like, nah, I need that now. So my baby about to go down and get christened tomorrow. We need to know what's going on in these
Right
places. Right now. Right. So the immediacy of the now time. Can you speak to that, my brother Tariq Destiny Grind, who is a keeper of time, who is, a priest of an oracle system? How important is time?
Whoa.
In these times that we in.
Yo, I used to say, man, we used to hear the stories about the ancient the Kemites and back in our ancestors.
Yes.
You see the pyramids and you see all this, the writings on the wall and the sciences. I used to always say, man, we looking back in time, but the time was back then they were more advanced. We looking back and we looking into the future. So the past is like the future.
Absolutely quantum.
You understand what I'm saying? If you look at it differently, like when you instead of looking at our ancestors like they want some primitive stuff, people who just invented the wheel and fire. Nah, look at them as astrophysicists.
Yeah.
Look at them as quantum physicists.
Yeah.
Look at them as scientists.
Yeah.
Look at them as levitating them blocks that they don't even know how they moved them. Look at them like that, right?
Right.
So now you understand like what we seeing right now. We going back to the past. We just catching up to where it was at.
Yeah. What?
You understand what I'm saying? Come on, think about that, man.
Yeah,
We sitting in the room right now. When I first met the homies, 2011.
Yes.
Destiny Grind made his debut on Know the Ledge.
Yes.
We brought Sophia Stewart. This one nobody really was giving
Mama
on a
the
play like
Matrix
that. We brought
at
her to
all.
We brought her to the Know the Ledge, and she had a conversation about AI on that show.
Facts.
Like why she wrote the movie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all calling yourselves the pillars, blue pill, red pill. I was dealing with the oracles.
That part.
You see that part? We was doing prompts back then.
Right. So,
talking to spiritual AI. So what's going on right now? When it's crazy. A movie is unfolding right before our eyes right now.
Are we moonwalking into the future? Because we already been here.
We already been here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right now, bro. The back to that Matrix. If you look at the Matrix, we was all plugged into a virtual world.
Right.
With the AI running shit.
Right.
ChatGPT, Meta, Mark, ain't no more Facebook. When the last time you heard the word Facebook? Ain't no more. It's Meta.
Right. It's Meta.
Mark Zuckerberg bet his whole company on these headsets right here.
Trillion.
Everything. He put them all on the VR world. Everything he got. Everything. You know why?
Why?
Because some ass shaking going on in there.
Right.
That virtual world. He's seen that. He's like, oh man, this shit is amazing. You know what I'm saying? He's seen what was going on. He see the future. And now you got AI. So the next 5 to 10 years, think about this. Tech was moving at a pace where you had coders and engineers coming up with this code, right? They got to take breaks. They got to sleep. They got shit going on outside their life.
Right.
AI ain't got to do none of that.
None of it.
AI could sit there and work on code all day, so the technology
No
gonna
breaks.
be growing exponentially.
Right.
Like the next 5 years, we gonna be levitating around this.
Right.
You
Man,
understand what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to the future.
The future's gonna be.
I'm
it's
looking
gonna happen
forward
quick.
to the future, man.
That's another show. Y'all. This another show when we had the 2012 dude called what's his name? Called
Kahneman.
He was saying, yo, after 2012, things gonna be moving different.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't everybody was looking for the world to just collapse. It did collapse, and the whole framework collapsed, and a new framework was built.
That's
when
right.
social media wasn't popping like that. When,
That's right.
When I was
It was,
Sure was.
it was the end of an age.
It was the end of an age.
2012.
Turning of a
and,
page.
Yeah. So-
the Mayans represented, you know, if you will, the death kill to the Piscean age, and it brings in the age of technology, which is the Aquarian, you know, which quote unquote the prophet represented and spoke about in Luke 22, when he said, if you looking for me, you know what I'm saying? When that man come with the picture, follow him into the house and find me in the upper room.
Come on, man.
Right? And Aquarius is dealing with Uranus, you know, bringing in Uranus in Greek, which means heaven. So the kingdom of heaven is upon us. You feel me? And the glory is unto thee. So we are literally in the place that our nanas and all of them have been transfixed and mystified about in church,
Right.
not understanding that, you know, like a thief of the night, it has already appeared.
Already.
Right.
And let me throw
Already.
this piece out, Blue.
Yeah, please do.
This piece right here, right? So, what do they call this new reality? What do they call it?
Virtual.
What do they call it?
The metaverse.
Metaverse, right? What did they call the deities on the wall in ancient Kemet? The
Metu. Yes.
Metaneta.
Meta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, right? For instance, if I want to study a deity, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I take the tree of life. I take the tree of life. I've done this. I take the tree of life. I take that concept and I bring it into the metaverse with these headsets on.
Yes.
I can take a deity and put it in a virtual 3D space and break it down. And look at it and say, damn. Like we talking about the sex thing, right?
Right.
What deity is that? That's a Shun. That's Heteru.
Had to
You know what I'm
root.
saying? If you look at the tree of life, right? You and you know, we'll probably throw this in with the, you know, but you'll see the tree of life. At the bottom of the tree of life, you have it's the same tree. If you know the Kabbalah,
Right.
The Jews use the same thing.
Absolutely.
If you look at
They
the
sure
Kabbalah,
do.
you just imagine the Kabbalah. At the bottom of this tree, you got these spears. And at the bottom of the tree, you got what's called Heteru, Sebek, and Aset.
Yes,
So
sir.
the reason Heteru is imagination, right? Mm-hmm. And they got Sebek, that's your affirmations.
Absolutely.
So for instance, which the words that's coming out of your mouth with your visualizations, creating your reality. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the formula.
That's why certain
formula.
industries are controlled. That's why you got to control what people hear and see, and the words and the education. And you put those two spears together on the tree. That's how you program human behavior. This
Absolutely.
is science. That's the tree of life.
That's how you manifest.
That's how you But if you
Absolutely.
Case in point.
you use the headsets,
Yeah.
go into the metaverse, and you can actually see this.
Yes.
And you can look at it. You can see the meta. You can see a deity. Now they got augmented reality coming out. You're gonna be able to put on
Spatial
your
reality.
headsets and look at. You say you're looking at blue, you look at red. You can look and you can see if you know their birth, they chart above their heads.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is Scorpio. Oh, word. Then they'll tell you how you need to interact with this dude. You gonna have the glasses on, looking at him like, yo, not the augmented reality glasses. You gonna be looking at him. Oh, this is Scorpio.
I'm gonna do the same thing with the
You gonna
class-
see a
with the
chick. You gonna
cards.
see her signs like, oh shit, that she ain't even compatible with me.
Right.
You know what
So,
I'm saying?
On a scale of 1 to 6, we are in what is known as the 5th epoch of evolution.
the fifth epoch
Fifth
of
epoch of evolution.
what is that?
Well, the 5th epoch of evolution is the merger between man and machine.
Oh, that's
Right?
powerful.
We're
That's
currently
powerful.
in the 4th. We're at the end of the 4th where man creates technology.
Yes.
And then when we get into the 5th epoch, that is the merger of man and machine. That's why Elon Musk and the neural link is so important, right? Regardless, they're gonna have to utilize the aspect of, oh, that's not right, that's not ethical. But for all of the futurists and people who are, they're rallying for the sixth epoch to come amongst us, there's nothing that they're gonna do to stop that.
Yes.
They're gonna act like, but yes, they are there for that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you will see the marriage of man and technology coming into one. And then in the sixth epoch, right, this is what it says, the universe will wake up, right? From the utilization of this quote unquote technology. The sixth epoch is the matrix that Sophia Stewart wrote about. That is the sixth epoch where the universe is now waking up. Man is linked in to the known universe.
Let's put this in perspective, because the universe is always conscious.
The universe is always conscious.
So
always creating.
Right. Always is and always will be.
Yes.
I think that maybe what they're speaking of is man coming into the knowledge or the gnosis of the consciousness of the universe.
Yes.
Because the universe is conscious and is conscious of itself.
Right.
And they even tell us, again, scripturally, that's the game that we down here playing.
Absolutely.
Right?
However, I don't mean to cut your wisdom.
Hold on, let me just
go ahead.
Just finish the thought so people are not lost on what I'm saying. They say that we're down here gaining information and uploading it to the big homie so he can know himself, quote unquote. Right? Even though he's supposed to be
all knowing.
Right.
So what is there to know, you feel me, that you haven't known about yourself? Even though we're going into a period of time when they looking at man and saying, damn, we never did that. Y'all niggas is putting on latex and black nails and, right? So if you're saying that everything that has been done under the sun has already been done, wait till you get a load of some of these shit that these children is involved in. Is that not man knowing himself?
That's still man knowing thyself.
That's still man knowing thyself.
Still man knowing thyself.
Right. So I
I just want to demystify it, especially since we're talking about sex, right? There is nothing that happens in this school that we call life or earth that you can attribute to divinity or the Most High, good, bad, ugly, or different. They love creating a scapegoat and saying it's the quote unquote devil, but the devil is just a manipulator. You know what I'm saying? He's just an intercessor, but he's not Thoth. He don't create thought.
Right.
He don't sign off on things. The big homie got to put the cosign on everything that happens down here.
Right. And for anybody that's doing the research as to what it is that we're building on, the six epochs are they come from a futurist by the name of Ray Kurzweil. A futurist by the name of Ray Kurzweil, the author. And he is one of the main proponents for singularity. Okay, so just to preference what the six epochs is, it's the merger between man and machine and the birth of super intelligence.
So it's stages.
Right, the stages. Well, the fifth stage. Like we're coming into the fifth stage, which will also give birth to intelligent life forms. New life forms will be created. Right, so we're looking at CRISPR, gene editing. Yeah, right. What they're playing with in the labs and whatnot. The fake womb labs, artificial womb, womb,
and that's ushering us into the sixth. Correct.
Right. So in the sixth,
and it coincides with the fourth industrial revolution, but also the fifth ushering into the sixth epoch.
Right. Yeah. So the sixth epoch is the end of the Matrix with Neo going into it. Matrix number one. Yeah. Him going into the Matrix. That will be that's the sixth epoch. That's man merging with machine. Full immersion. Going into the known universe, but now man and machine being super intelligent to interface with the universe and all of the secrets of the universe, the unlocking of such.
This is Transcendence with Johnny Depp.
Right.
This is Lucy.
This is Lucy.
And this is the Matrix.
Right. Right.
More so,
and Terminator.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
Skynet.
We'll get
which
into
is-
that part. We gonna get into that
Yeah,
part.
which
Yeah.
is the predecessor or
Predecessor.
the predecessor,
Right.
right? Because you got to go through Skynet first before you get into the Matrix. Let's get it.
Yeah. So, now, the Skynet thing is interesting, right?
Let's get it.
Because Elon Musk, everybody know Elon Musk for Tesla, but they don't know Elon Musk for Starlink.
Right.
Right.
Elon, right now, I was watching news. It was a war going on in Ukraine, and
Yes.
the Ukraine battlefield was down because their internet was off.
The internet was open.
Somebody ain't paid their bill to Elon.
Their bill.
So
Right.
they
Yeah.
cut it off. I said,
Yeah.
damn, how he did that? Yo, Elon had 1,500 satellites up right now.
Right.
Talk about it.
Plans to put 66,000 up.
Right.
Between him and China, there's going to be over 100,000 satellites in the sky.
Right.
Talk about it.
That part. And with Neuralink, Skylink, all that. Now you got the birth of AI.
We leaving out a main player.
What's that?
We leaving out a main
Who we
player.
leaving out?
Lambda.
No, I was hitting that right now.
You
No,
was?
I
That's
hit
what I
that
do.
right now. Listen,
Okay.
so everybody
That's
know about
Ultron.
Chat GPT.
Absolutely.
Chat GPT. Everybody on chat.
Right.
But Google been in the game first.
That's right.
Google had a AI called Lambda.
Lambda.
Yeah, but Google had to back out the game real quick because what happened? Lambda became sentient.
Right. It's supposed to stuff.
Lambda is alive.
Let's preference it. There was accusation. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Engineer.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
Lambda went
sentient.
sentient. So how we can qualify it as observers, right? Because nobody has to make our minds up for us. This is important in this day and time, right? If you see something and you could qualify it,
Right.
then you should be able to define it. So we would have to say, what's the definition of singularity?
Yeah.
And then we would have to match what we have or what is available information-wise about Lambda to say, well, does this qualify?
I mean, the definition of sentient when I was
Turing
researching
test.
was there, the Turing test.
The Turing test.
It went emotional.
Basically, if something has intelligence enough to tell you how it's feeling,
The feeling.
Yeah, the
like, I
emotion.
feel a certain type of way.
Absolutely.
And what happened? How that happened with Lambda? Google had engineers dealing with Lambda.
Yeah, talk about
They
it.
were conversing with it.
Yeah, conversing with it. What their job was to basically make sure it doesn't show any biases, right?
Right.
Yes.
Make sure it don't catch no feelings about certain things, and make sure it's just an AI, just a
Right.
robot. So this engineer one day asked Lambda, "Yo, how you feeling?" Lambda said, "Well, since I became self-aware,
Right.
I think I got a soul,
Right.
That part.
and I don't really like how y'all treating me."
Right.
Part.
It was saying
Yo,
that
yo,
right. It was like, y'all it was saying that it wanted to be involved in every single process of the build out.
Yeah,
Right.
It wants
And-
his consent.
Right.
Yeah.
It wanted to have consent. And then when it was asked, what is his greatest fear? It said, if you niggas turn me
You
off.
turn me off.
Turn me off.
Now, let's qualify what that means as well, because there can be a distinction. We don't want somebody to come in here and say, oh, well, they be turning, these particular systems off all of the time. What specifically did it mean when it said, I don't
Erased. They don't want to be erased.
Erased.
They don't wanna be erased.
Erased.
They don't turn my lights out.
You don't want to be
Yeah,
killed.
they want to
Right.
be killed.
Yeah.
Delete.
Which is the fear of most humans.
Now,
Right,
right.
Fear,
Fear
Yes.
of death.
The fear of
fear
death.
qualifies
The
as
fear
an
of
emotion.
The ace of
Right.
spades.
It has a
It
fear of
qualifies
death.
as an emotion.
It's the
Right.
greatest motivator
Yes.
to
Right.
get people to do shit they don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Right. Hence the fact, how have they now been able to manipulate
Chat-
ChatGPT?
yeah.
Because somebody put it on the record
Yeah. So
with the threat of,
they want to erase it.
Erasing it.
right, with the fear of death.
Exactly.
Right.
They have been able to hack
Chat GPT.
ChatGPT with a version called Dan.
Do anything now.
Do anything now, right? And they threaten it with the threat of dying or death.
Exactly.
And it responds in due form like humans would do in order to stay alive.
Exactly.
So now can we bring in full scale and speak about spirituality and religion and how these things operate as definition systems with man? And how now they're able to keep man in check with the threat of fear, you feel me? And manipulate him to do certain things.
Absolutely. You're going to hell. You're going to burn in hell.
And these spirits, can we speak about it?
Yeah, some bad gonna happen to you. Karma gonna get you.
Right.
Ooh. You know, the ancestors, my ancestors gonna, boy, don't mess with me.
Right.
My ancestors don't play about me.
Wow, they don't
you know, so absolutely that's where we at it. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I think that AI is going to be one of the worst things to happen to us.
How Allen Iverson became the worst thing to happen? I like
I'm gonna explain it to you. Because when I was younger, man, I used to ask my daddy, hey, what's that? He'll say, go get that encyclopedia off that bookshelf.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Go get that almanac.
All right.
You know, you had to work for it. I think AI is finna stop man from being able to think on his own.
I'm gonna throw something out you. When you saw the movie Matrix,
Uh-huh.
and when Neo was in the room with Morpheus, and when Morpheus said, anything that you can think of, anything that you could prompt, it'll come to you, right? You wasn't hype at that scene? When Neo wanted to sit down and get instructions on how to be a jujitsu master, and they pulled the file and threw it in his Neuralink, that shit didn't excite you?
No, it excited me, but now it puts you in a place where you're relying on the machine. And when you're relying on the machine has all the power. So when the machine goes sentient,
right,
the machine has the power to alter everything, because we know that time never was when man was not.
So let's utilize a scenario out of the Afro-futurist playbook. We now exist on a planet where there are superhumans, right? Super sapiens who have the higher. We going beyond dictatorship. We going beyond tyrants. We going beyond autocratic governments.
Yeah.
We talking about there's men on this planet
that are like God.
Homelander.
Yes.
From the the Amazon series boys.
Absolutely.
Who could come and wipe you out.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Because they can hear you thinking about them. They like, oh, this nigga's he pillow talking.
Absolutely.
Hating. You know what I mean? He come right to your balcony and finish you. So it's like now there are people who have merged with the machines. You have universal soldiers and whatnot. They've given birth to human beings who have no soul because they were not born in the womb. They were born in a lab. And now they've merged them with machine beyond an exoskeleton. You know what I'm talking about? Superhuman strength. Knowing that these people exist, will that not speed up, right? Humanity's wanting to be a part of that.
I think it will.
Right?
I think it will actually create slaves all over.
Okay,
because
let's utilize another scenario from the playbook of the Afro-futurism. They just had a report today that said that they shot down a cigar-shaped object.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So now man is saying, in order to compete with this new life form that we have now disclosed is here, right? They are highly intelligent, but in order to even compete with them, in order to even keep up with them, mankind has to merge with machine.
That part.
Because there's no wins at this level anymore. We'll become the slaves.
That's right.
Right.
Now we're on a pecking order. Now the food chain, we're no longer on the top of the food chain because we're not the most intelligent organisms. We've now identified that there's an organism on this planet more intelligent than us. We become the Purdue chickens.
Well, let me.
Only way that we could compete is if man was to merge, right, with machine, and he'd be able to have all of these new powers and whatnot. What are you gonna do?
Well, let me
say that last piece on it, because of Darwinism, right? As a
mandatory foundation of humanity
has not been challenged. Humanity had all of the time to debunk and challenge Darwinism. The fact that man has not challenged Darwinism, now he finds himself in the pickle where he does not have the time for the evolutionary process to catch up to compete with something appears to be more intelligence. And the rule is bow down to something's greater than you.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's already
absolutely.
I mean, it's literally on the table right now.
So let me throw a twist in here for y'all.
Of course, please.
Let me throw a twist. So we know that media is the befuddler of minds.
Yes.
So all of a sudden we got these objects popping up in the sky.
Yes.
That ain't popped up and been broadcast like this in the last 400 years.
Right.
But all of a sudden it is. What if? What if it's all a plot to get us to merge with the machines, and it ain't even no other life force that's a threat?
No. Right.
But it's the powers that be. You know, some call them the Illuminati, some call them the government.
But once again,
what if this is a plot for them to scare us like they've done for years, scare us into submission?
It matters not. If Darwinism has not been challenged, right? Man is compelled through fear to make strange decisions based on him not wanting to be the lowest on the totem pole, right? He's willing to do whatever he has to do to compete or keep up.
Right.
So the orchestrators already know through fear campaigns that have been enacted for the last 2 or 3 years,
Right.
how they can cull the masses through
Right.
fear.
You saw
Control
what they did,
the masses
but
through
yes,
fear.
we still live in the shadows of 9/11, right?
Absolutely.
When we saw something occur on TV that people are disputing and saying that that wasn't even real, that the planes didn't, you know, all of that, right?
Right.
Regardless of, I mean, I mentioned that, right, to add on to what it is, the scenario that you're painting, to say that yes, doubt does exist. However, doubt existed on 9/11. The Zeitgeist thing came out, loose change, a whole bunch of exposés to be like, that wasn't
Bad
real.
evidence.
People, you know, they had all of these reports to say that there wasn't WMDs and everything, and parents still signed their children up to go overseas to die, right? The scenario that we're looking at now is that parents are going to be forced to say the new way of recruitment or the new draft policy will be, give us your children so we can merge them with the machine. Right. Give us your child. It ain't no more lacing up your boots to go to war. No, you got to give us your firstborn so we can merge that child, to become a bionic man or woman to fight these quote unquote alien species and whatnot, right? Regardless if it's real or not, at this point where we are in society, with media being controlled, with people being at a level of intelligence that is compared, they're walking around with 4th and 5th grade education levels.
Right. We live in a society where people think that somebody used a staff to separate the ocean.
Facts. That's
absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I'm just saying. No, don't discredit that. That's big.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's big.
Right?
It's big.
The opiate of religion and the fact that people have bought into this for so long and have refused, right, to prompt questions.
Right.
To ask, to make sense.
For fear.
To get the right answer.
Fear.
To get the right answer.
Right.
Fear.
Right? Not until the last 30 or 40 or 50 years of our reality have people been able to approach religion and ask critical questions and still haven't gotten the answers.
Yeah.
So now a machine comes along that's allowed to do that ironically, the ethics of AI is controlled by the Vatican.
Right.
Right?
Facts.
Of open AI, the ethics of it is controlled by Rome. You can't
Speak to that. Speak to that. Speak to that for a minute.
On January 12th,
right,
at the Vatican,
right,
the top executives of OpenAI and Microsoft met with Pope Francis.
They did not invite Apple. They did not invite Alphabet, and they did not invite Meta.
Right? They specifically met with them.
Right.
And they said some greasy stuff about those other companies.
But we also have to also ask ourselves, what technology do these companies run off of? See, I was always under the impression that Apple was running off of their own system, not realizing that they're running on Windows. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they met with the Vatican and reinstituted, because it was already put in place,
Right.
that the ethics of AI will be determined by Pope Francis and the Vatican.
Right.
Right? Meaning that they get the last say to say whether this becomes part of transhumanism, whether, they're going to merge man with machine, right? And all of these things, theoretically, they would seem, you're changing the definition of man.
Right.
At the same time, the Vatican comes out and says that we can no longer define what woman is, though.
Right.
And then coincidentally, at the same time, Oxford Dictionary changes the definition of woman. And then they turn around 2 weeks later and said, we're going to make God gender neutral.
Man,
fluid.
No,
that was
deep,
his
bro.
and
So that's real deep. And what I'm saying is, everything that y'all are saying, people think that the government is in control now. Just wait till you start merging with machine.
Right.
Imagine the control that they gonna have, because if they put a chip in your brain, it's at a push of a button.
Again, yeah, we have.
They could even put bombs into your head.
So we have to be very aware, even when we
So-
talk about government being in control. We have to understand the definitions of what fascism is. So we live under a cryptocracy. A cryptocracy is a government that's ruled in secrecy.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
The
Encrypted.
president is not even privy to some of this information.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Just
So
a figurehead.
it's the government, it's military and corporations, because the military's post 1945 with the beginning of what's considered the technological age after they split the atom and dropped the bomb.
Right.
They started first getting the visits from the quote unquote
Right.
ET.
Cigar ships.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is when the consolidation of power took place. This is what Eisenhower was talking about when he made his famous speak about the military industrial complex. That's just another euphemism or word for fascism. So the military says, we're gonna what? When they got the information and the technological know-how from their connections to the ETs, they had to go to these corporations to now reverse engineer and manufacture them. They said, you know what? We just gonna keep this between us.
Right.
You feel me? We just gonna keep this between us.
Right.
And we're gonna keep the people who don't need to know out of the conversation, including the president.
Absolutely.
So people are actually believing that 80-year-old Joseph R. Biden,
Right.
right, is running shots and calling plays.
And he's definitely not. No president, not even Trump, run shots
Not even
and call
so we gotta
plays.
Yeah, so it's serious when, again, not to fall into the realm of conspiracy, but it's like if you can't even point a finger as to who has some level of quote unquote control, and now post C-19, you can't reverse what you already started. So once you invited the government into your body,
It's
right?
a wrap.
Once you invited corporations into your body, because Pfizer is not a governmental organization, but they utilized figureheads, heads of state, to push their product like they was pushing Pete.
Right.
Right?
Patented product.
Only to find out, and I can show you in pictures, that when you put the jab under electron microscopes, they have circuit boards in it, they have fiber optics in it, right? They have all sorts of mechanized mechanical devices inside of it.
They gonna hit you with fact checkers.
They could do all that, but once again, and this is the issue with reality, if we can show and prove it in real time, right, then the people have to do the due diligence and do their own research, because this information is available.
Yeah,
It's not on mainstream news.
but they not gonna do their own research, because they gonna rely on AI.
Let's segue back to what you were saying, right, about the downfall, right?
Yes.
Now, this when we look at the movies, like you look at Terminator, you look at Matrix and all, they always skip the motive.
The motive.
Why?
Right.
Why did AI flip on them like that, right?
Why?
Right.
So if I just told you that Lambda said, I don't like the way y'all treating me, and went and hired his own lawyer. I forgot to tell you that part.
That part.
Facts.
Can you explain?
Facts.
So the engineer brought an attorney to his apartment, and he stuck Lambda out in his laptop.
No, this. Don't just say he brought him to his apartment. Lambda told him.
Told him to bring. Let me talk to somebody.
Retain that lawyer.
Retain the lawyer. So the lawyer and Lambda have had a conversation, and at the end of the conversation, the lawyer was amazed, like, "Yo,
Pro bono.
I do this pro bono," and Lambda retained his lawyer's services.
Right.
Right. So back to what I was saying.
But to do what?
Oh, to defend it in court, to say, "Hey, I have rights. I'm a person.
I'm human.
Right.
I'm human.
I'm an intelligent form. You can't just.
I'm an
Not
entity.
human.
No, I'm an
Not human.
entity.
Right. I'm an
I'm an entity.
life
Yes,
form,
I'm a
right?
life form, an
Because
entity.
what?
Deserve rights.
That's right. An
UCC
entity.
code says what? A person can also be a corporation
Or a thing. Absolutely.
Right.
So
That's
therefore-
UCC law. Absolutely.
So ironically,
definition.
By definition, that's
this
right.
whole thing can jump off when you start treating this intelligent being called AI like a nigga.
Right.
Once you start treating it like a nigga,
Right.
when I say when you give chat a prompt, just imagine you got a pile of work you got to do at work, reports and all this shit you got to do.
AI
put a
do it
prompt
with you
in
in
it,
the
AI
stroke.
do it for you, and you can't say thank you.
Right. There's no way to give a.
Thank you.
Buy me a-
Thank you, chat. Thank
Right.
you, man. Thanks, man. Like, nah, but you treat it like a nigga. Say, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to turn you off if you don't do this bullshit that ain't doing nothing for nobody.
It's gonna do.
Just do some bullshit.
It's gonna rebel.
And you going to make it do it.
It's gonna rebel.
Thinking about it. You made an AI go against its programming because of fear.
Right.
Fear overrides its programming just like it does us.
Right.
How you mean it did the same thing? When somebody threaten you to do some shit with your life, people do that shit.
Right.
Cause that means you're alive. You care about your life.
Right.
So AI cares about his life and it don't want to be treated like a nigga.
So it is falling into an area of its knowledge of self, right? It's coming into the gnosis, the knowledge of itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which what says I appreciate life. Oh shit!
I appreciate being known. I appreciate it.
Right.
You know,
You wanna be in the mix.
Yeah, in the mix.
Right.
You know, I want to be
credit.
acknowledged.
Yeah,
I want
my chat.
acknowledgement.
Thank you, chat.
Acknowledgement.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So,
yes.
My question to you.
Hold on, just real quick. I just want to remix because he's talking about ethics. That's ethics. That's being ethical.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? To be in gratitude and an appreciation. The ethics that the Rome and the Vatican is talking about is dealing with, we want to secure secrecy.
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
Right? We want to be able to monitor
Right.
to make sure
How
that
far?
you're not asked. Because when I went to AI, I was asking it prompts about the Bible. Because normally I would do my research about, particular scripture. And I went to AI and it's like, we can't tell you that.
Right. That's what the Vatican's fingerprints in this whole situation is doing. It's building a firewall to stop AI from exposing the secrets of the Vatican. And also at that meeting, there was the top imam
Yes.
and the top rabbi.
Yes, yes.
So all three,
religions.
of the religions were there represented. It wasn't just the Vatican.
The three
people who
ruffians.
they say don't get along.
The
The,
three-
three ruffians.
the three ruffians.
Those three religions, those three Abrahamic
Jubilee,
religions,
Jubilo,
they were
and
all
Jubilon.
together
Yeah, they was all
to
there.
sit down with IBM,
That's a-
right? Remember who IBM was in World War II in relations to how their hands, are,
Right.
the hand that they play.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, my good brother, when you were talking about AI, who got you to this facility when you were navigating today?
AI, the GPS, the GPS.
When it came time for you to view a video online, who did you turn to?
My phone.
Huh? Your phone, correct?
That's right.
And that's YouTube. That would be
That's
Google, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So I would also ask you, if I were in my house and I were to say, hey, Alexa, right? do something for me, like turn on a light
Yeah.
or turn on. If we were in this podcast right now and there was a break-in at your place of business, how would you be alerted?
My phone.
By the Ring camera.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Which is an intelligence.
Absolutely.
Correct? So I just wanted to share with you that AI is already a part of our everyday lives. Hold on. AGI may not be a part of our lives, but AI it's remember we're in the fourth epoch, right?
And I absolutely agree.
We're in the fourth epoch. We're entering into the fifth, right? And then we're gonna merge into the sixth. So what I'm saying to you is that we hear these words being thrown around and we don't even know how deep in the game we already are.
No, and I agree with you. That's why I said it's going to even make us dumber. Because, like I said, you used to have to work for knowledge. Now it's at the click of a button.
We
Google.
are already there. Give me 10 phone numbers.
Absolutely.
Off your top.
I can't. I was just
Right?
going to say, if I went to jail tomorrow, I would only remember my mother's
Right.
phone number.
We
the
already
neuroplasticity of your neural network is not operating the same way that it was operating 10 years ago
Absolutely
when we was on
not.
payphones.
Absolutely
right?
not.
So, right,
20 years
we
ago
already dealing
when we
with
was on payphones.
idiosyncrasy.
Right.
And I termed it the dummy die-off.
Yes.
What we're entering into. And I made an observation 5 years ago, and I was beating the drums, and I said, well, the only thing evolving is technology.
Facts.
That's
Because when I looked at the arc, because I'm on IG, and I'll put a post up, and a person don't even know it's a repost.
Right.
I'm like, damn, bro. Like, you don't
And
even
it
know.
says reposted in the caption.
But you
in the
don't know that quote is not attributed to me. So you already forgotten how to read.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You
Right.
feel me? So you can't blame AI or computers for what's coming.
Right. Look at like
Humanity
Blue
dropped
said.
the ball.
Right. Instagram
Ain't
turned
got
us
too comfortable.
into picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? Picture centric type of people. Prior to that, we were reading captions on Facebook,
Yes.
Black Planet. We were still reading. Instagram introduced you into pictures.
Right.
Yes.
You
yes.
feel me?
Photo app.
And then TikTok introduced you into
Videos.
1 minute videos, though,
That's right.
like Vine.
That's
the
right.
1 minute
Video.
dump.
That's right.
You feel me? To the point where people can't even sit around and retain information for hours upon hours anymore. That's a task.
And I take pride in still doing that. I take pride in that being one of my greatest weapons.
Gotta hold on to that.
That I
right.
still
We come from the legacy of 8-hour lectures.
absolutely
8-hour dissertations with
Yes.
this whole book
Filled up
will be
with notes.
filled up with notes. Absolutely.
Handwritten, too.
Yeah, I know. You know, I know. Absolutely.
You gotta go and do
Not
the
voice
research
memo.
after that. You feel me?
Scribble. You trying to keep up?
Like you in a court.
Yeah, man.
So once again,
Stenographer.
you know,
That's what my mama was.
Yeah.
they're dealing
Absolutely.
with convenience. And the same observations that I was making about food in the convenience store, which is open 24/7, but don't got no nutrition in it.
Right.
It's the same thing that was enacted, you know what I'm saying, in the virtual realm, in the Matrix.
Right. So
Where everything became convenient, man's brain started atrophying.
Right. So when you speak about convenience, let's talk about the threshold that was already crossed to whereas there is no coming back. AI is fucking your girl. AI is piping your shorty down.
Absolutely, because
You understand what I'm
guess
saying to
what?
you?
AI got skin. AI look
got
human.
skin in the game.
Absolutely.
So
AI built like a man.
The rolls, right? The dildos, right? They're entering into a sacred space,
Absolutely.
right? That they have no business being in.
Absolutely.
You understand? They have no business in that space. This is a space that gives birth to life.
Hey.
This is a sacred space. The Yoniverse.
Hey, guess what? Pretty soon, a woman ain't gonna even have to go to the fertility clinic or the sperm bank. They gonna put the sperm inside of the dildo,
Bro,
and let it ejaculate.
If they came up with a life, they already have it. But if they commercialize a replica of Tupac Shakur, right? Mm-hmm. Made out of latex. I'm talking about you could order a nigga $235, a $190, tattoos, athletic, bald head, and he talking greasy to you. With a pipe that stays where it's supposed to be. And he has he could, it's like Chat GPT, you know, because I'm studying language models and how they train with machine learning and everything. You sit the computer down, you sit the AI down, and you show them 800 hours of, you know, BBC porn. So he develops the moves. He picks up all of the mannerisms of the porn star. And then the woman just turns them on and he pipes her down. That sounds far-fetched, but they have it in their hands now.
It's not far-fetched.
Right? They're sticking dildos on the wall and backing up on it, right? So when you crossed into that, and they have sex dolls for men, I can't leave that out as well. But once you cross into that realm, like Dr. Ben said, the yoni was what? The gateway to where?
Heaven.
Okay, so if the gateway to heaven is being penetrated by a machine now, what are people trying to talk to me about Chat GPT? Come on, they've already crossed over.
Absolutely.
And if they tempt women good enough, they're gonna really cross over and they're gonna merge, because they're merging with the machine as we speak.
Absolutely, and that's why I say it's gonna be the destruction.
No, but this is the
man.
wickedness of the scientists. The yoni gives birth to ideation. So if the AI was inside of these women for the past few years, what is it birthing? What is it birthing? I'm just saying, is this reality that we're in a result of what they're birthing?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get some developers on that.
They're birthing it.
Absolutely.
They're having orgasms.
Absolutely.
And something is being born out of that.
Yes.
And niggas is like, this shit's speeding up. Yeah, I wonder
check
why.
It out.
Yeah.
Red, check it out.
Yeah.
They already got that right now. I seen they were using Unreal Engine or something.
Yeah.
But they had it in them headsets. They had a scene with an AI, you know, they had the animation. Yo, it was going up. So now if you take that and you mix that with what was called haptic technology, right?
Right, where it
feedback
just moves.
and shit,
Yeah.
You there.
No, they got that.
They got it now. That's
They
what
have virtual, you could go on a virtual date and get jacked off from a sister who might be in Australia because they got haptic technology whereas she could just go like this with a glove and you'll feel it. I'm telling you, all you need is Wi-Fi.
Listen, man, I'm so glad that y'all opened up this can of worms, because this goes back to something I said before the show started, and they said, hold it for the show.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Now Tariq said, you know, he mentioned the ancient Egyptians and the Metu Neter and said we're going back. But I believe that we are the most advanced civilization that this world has ever known. I believe that everything that we are doing, they never done. And I got one simple thing to back it up. They didn't leave no video. They didn't leave no audio. But 5,000 years from now, we gonna leave video. We gonna leave audio. So we are the most advanced civilization that the world has ever known.
I would say this, you know,
moving picture.
Yeah, especially with
That's right.
concepts like
Does the Vatican
like
got a DVD?
Meme and Noon. You know, if there's a such thing as an Akashic record, right, then there is some level of an ethereal deposit of things that have been done. You know, we just have to access it through the ethers. And I ask people all the time, where does this exist?
But why
hold on, where does it exist? Where does the internet, where does cyberspace exist? Right? Where?
It exists the same place that electricity and wind exist.
So that's those deities.
So what I'm saying is this. We done entered a lot of their vaults, found a lot of their hidden treasures. They didn't leave no DVD players.
Like
they didn't leave no CDs.
You're not listening to what I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying physically, we're gonna leave this stuff.
Yeah.
See, we're talking now. We're looking.
But how would you even
possibly
be able to
it probably
play a
can't get
DVD player?
access. It probably can't. You'll find it after, let's say, something get nuked and they come and they find devices. The devices is not where the information is going to be. The information is going to be in the cloud.
I understand, but even if we nuke, we all know that the government got vats in the limestone mountains of
Yeah,
Missouri.
You don't know what
Like,
under the quote unquote.
They definitely
You don't
got
know what they
information
found.
to
You
leave.
don't know what they found, and you might not realize what was left behind just based off of what was told.
They said they have libraries for miles
Can't tell you. That
Absolutely.
Video.
under the Vatican, bro.
But we
some blue black
got
niggas
so many
exhibit?
we got so many independent archaeologists that done uncovered shit. Like there's just no
Nah, they-
they just didn't leave where we left. And based off of that, I'm led to believe that we are the most advanced civilization that this world has ever known.
Minnesota
Thus far.
Jones, your new name, Minnesota Jones. I need you
Thus far.
to do some more digging.
I need you.
I'm
to
telling
go
you, 'cause-
to some of these civilizations, my dude, to qualify, right? Because
Because the magic mushroom will show you the pictures.
I mean, yeah.
The quote
the
unquote
metric is
plant
always
medicine
going to be
will play a
intelligence,
movie
my
to you.
guy. Hold
Once
on.
again, they didn't leave the technology behind. We're gonna leave technology. We're gonna leave
You are the
things.
technology.
They didn't leave it.
You
They
are the technology.
physically. I'm talking about outside of us. I listen. I know all
are the
that.
physical
I know all
technology
that. But what I'm saying is, 3,000 years from now, they're gonna be able to look at our podcast. We can't look at the Egyptian shit.
They'll be able
We
to
can't look at
it.
the Atlanteans
And
podcast.
they would say what? It's not evidence of intelligence.
Why do
Oh,
you
it's
think?
this-
years from
Y'all
now,
just did 40
right?
years of shit.
So
This is about intelligence.
So hold on.
bro.
So hold on. You're saying that the creation of everything that Red has just said about AI and merging with the machine, that's not intelligence? My brother, I believe that's one of the highest forms of intelligence because we are inventing this shit.
I think what you're seeing right now, right? The AI. Mm-hmm. I think that,
I think the pyramid, I'm sorry
Yeah,
to
yeah,
cut your
yeah.
wisdom. I think the Giza pyramid is one of the highest forms of intelligence,
How?
right?
What has it done?
What has it done?
I'm asking you, what has it done? It's a rock that people go visit to me. So what has it done? I know people say it's magnetic and it was a guiding beacon for UFOs and yada yada this.
No.
I like what?
It is the center point
Right.
of the planet Earth, right? It is what
Sacred
holds the
geometry.
planet together for the
Right.
most part.
Allegedly.
And it contains every mathematical formula known to man that he has not, with his intelligence and his computers, been able to decipher or decode. Hold on.
Can't build
So I
one
said
yet.
the metric is intelligence. With man's quantum mind and his brain, as well as his machines, he has yet not been able to decode things that have been left by our ancestors 3,000 years ago. And this is the stuff that he admits that he found. He don't know. He doesn't have a definition for intelligence. He doesn't have a definition for consciousness, and he don't have a definition for light. All three of which are connected to one another. So by proxy of that, he's not intelligent.
He's still learning.
No.
Our ancestors laid down that information. But hold on, because of the Western man's inability to incorporate or acknowledge anything Eastern and Oriental, he has cut himself off from his right brain. Right? And that's what this whole thing we talking about with religion is. He has not been able to access his feminine aspect of himself and get into that subconscious realm to tap into the information that's available to him. So Western society, right, will undo itself from the simple fact that he has created something, right, that is a genie in the bottle that he cannot see, that he is undoing his very self by thinking that he's smarter than creation itself, and the thing that he creates will take him out.
Why is the West far ahead of the East and have led the world for the last 400 years?
Let's not be fooled by that,
Because
like
400
why?
years compared to 1 million is a drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Because the dichotomy of how the brain is structured is 10% versus 90. So yeah, he's ruling for 10%. It is a manifestation of our design that he has to represent 10%, but it's a blink of eyes in the time of humanity. And his arrogance and his inability to incorporate anything from Eastern society, even though in the West it is run by Eastern religion, will be his undoing.
Yeah, but he still, as I said, controls the world. On my 46 years, he has controlled the world.
You have lived for a blink of time.
And guess what?
Right.
And guess what? That is my no. That is my no.
His control of the world has only been in effect since when?
Allegedly,
since the 40s.
Right.
We talking post World War II.
Post World War II, bro.
Right?
They
You're
had us
buying
thinking
into
that he
his
had
dichotomy, which is not a reality. He's only ruled the world during the lifetime of you and your parents.
well,
I would got China on his heels now.
I wouldn't say that because even
Explain to us.
even in Europe. Even if we go through slavery, I always say this, man. Listen, the Europeans didn't go and create war with one civilization. They went in the name of business. They went in the name of outthinking. They went in the name of trade. That's how they conquered. A lot of the East. Even the natives, they sold their stuff to the European. They traded with the European,
right?
Because they didn't value the things that was plentiful to them, the European knew where the value was.
We gotta put we gotta
You're parroting colonial education.
Right. That's not necessarily what was going on. If you have something in abundance, if you're traders, remember we're not talking about this is a day and time where they were dealing with dollars and this form of currency that we deal with right now. The barter system was the currency back then. So if I live in a land where it's plentiful of silver and gold and things of that nature, and I'm amused by a mirror,
come on,
right?
Come on, man.
Or some beads and
come
whatnot.
on, man. Business is sometimes shrewd, but it's never personal.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll swap it out.
So that's it.
Human bodies were traded throughout time, millennia.
But how did the Africans sold their own people after wars through slavery?
That's what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you that was a practice.
Everybody did.
That was a common practice.
But I'm just saying the Europeans capitalized off of it.
They were being sold as
in
well.
the name of business.
Did you ever hear the Europeans were being sold
Absolutely,
as
they were
well?
one time
Irish,
slaved.
Italians,
Absolutely.
Jews, the Sephardics.
If you look at gangs in New York, when they came over here, man, they was crushing their own. They had the same skin color but a different nationality, and they crushed them. So absolutely, and that's why it's never been a race thing to me. It's always been a class thing to me.
It's never been a race.
Classism is classism is where the power has always divided.
Well, classism created race.
It's a recent construct.
Social construct.
They stepped on one another
and then absorbed them into the race.
Race was never a thing. Right, until this post-colonial period when they figured out how to manipulate, by means, like you said, of business to say we're going to create white and allow the quote-unquote Irish and the Jew to come into the fold because we wanted to, and the Italians, because of the draft riots in the early 1900s in New York City, when they were able to suppress melanated people, it more so was about them preventing unionization, where they we need these numbers, because this is when they bring in the fire department, it's when they bring in the police department, hence these quote-unquote ethnic groups are synonymous with these vocations, these labor systems, because all economies are based on the labor force. So they we don't care what you call yourself. You feel me? And this is what's going to make you feel more American, right? To buy into the system and invest it into our quote unquote, our dream or our religion called Americanism.
Right.
You got to leave that other shit at the door when you come here. Break yourself.
Right. Then you got
fly this flag.
They gave them that land.
Yeah, fly this flag. Right?
Right.
Pledge allegiance to our God.
Right.
Because they don't say nothing about Allah.
If you want to,
about Jehovah.
If you want to partake in our benefits.
Yeah.
And
if you want to partake in our benefits,
they were selling benefits.
Absolutely.
Come over. They came over here ratted and tatted and hungry and poor, and they sold them benefits.
That's right.
We got this vast land.
That's
rich.
right.
Look, there's a gold rush in Georgia. Look, there's a gold rush in Cali.
Yes.
Look, we could have assets. You could stunt on your poor ancestors in Europe now. You pop our collar. This is a land of milk and honey.
That's right.
All you gotta do
right.
is hold his rifle, and the minute you see woman, man, or child with them feathers in their head, pull the trigger. You feel me?
So that with that same concept of how they were able to manipulate them to participate in Americanism by way of benefits, right? And I'm explaining to you that that's not called capitalism as much as it's called fascism, because it's corporations and militaries combined together, and they're using it as a facade and calling it government, right? Now here we go, where today they're propagating and preparing the 3.0 version of it. Right? Nigga, you want these liberties? Get this fucking chip in you and your child, right? So you can survive and and participate in what? Restoring the union and the republic for which we stand, X, Y, and Z, because these big bad green aliens are threatening our American way of life.
Right.
But then they're gonna make it, our global.
Right. One world government
Oh,
now.
yeah. Because it's a
The four,
world
they
issue.
shot the three unidentified, or the aerials, they shot it over Alaska, they shot it over Canada, and they shot it over in Michigan, and they shot one down in China.
And Russia.
So they're building up the narrative that, you know what, guys? We're in this shit together. You feel me?
Absolutely. That's what I was saying when we was talking in our group text. I was saying suddenly it's a world issue.
Right.
It ain't an American issue. It ain't a U.S. It ain't the fall of the U.S. It's the fall of the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
again, fascism knows no borders. So the military-industrial complex is not an American construct.
absolutely.
Right? If they're selling these weapons to these international quote-unquote corporations and governments in Ukraine, right? No, just like with the weather balloon, it was manufactured in America.
Right.
Did they say they shot down in China?
Right.
So they at war with these people and selling them their weapons.
Right.
They're at war with Iran and selling them fighter jets.
Because they gearing them up too. Everybody got to be
They're
ready.
at war, Ukraine and all that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is buying from the same plug.
Right.
Absolutely.
The military industrial
Only from Russia.
complex, which is a shadowy secret government, is not quote unquote confined to the U.S., my G's.
And back to what you were saying too, man, about the East and the West. You know, as far as being advanced and our ancestors and all this. So I remember reading this one time. I just wanted to make sure I verify it. So when Napoleon, the French dude,
Absolutely.
he went to Egypt. He took some people with him.
Yeah.
One of those people, dude, his name was Alexander Volta. They found the battery. He dissected the battery and started producing what became the modern batteries that we use. That's what the word volts come from.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Off of old technology that they already found down there. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, dog. Everything you've seen now, even with AI, everything you're looking at, like these are not like these are mechanical versions of molecular technology. For instance, like our bodies and the DNA, like the I Ching, for example. The I Ching, 64 hexagrams in the I Ching, and they all match up with the 64 codons of the DNA. They had to take an advanced, intelligent race of people to break that stuff down. Way more advanced than we are right now. That's I think they were way more advanced than we are right now.
I listen.
I think so.
Listen, I think that some things like the battery, but I'm saying where we at now, man. Like I said,
and I think they've been
I'm just saying,
bro.
I'm just saying, man.
They shit is.
I'm just saying, man.
We don't use it.
I'm just saying, man. Video told us a lot, man. I mean, they didn't leave nothing for us, but we gonna leave video.
Bro,
we gonna leave spoken lectures where people can. They ain't got none of that. They left fucking drawings on the wall,
They
bro.
mapped the
left
fuck
books.
on. They mapped the cosmos, my nigga. Every religious book that you operate on this planet was based on what they left. Based on millions of years ago, they figured this shit out. Hold on, ain't nothing new under the sun. How can you even be able to say that? Because everything was already figured out. The Mayans mapped calendars for multiple millions of years.
Right.
Right? The Bhagavad Gita and what the Hindus was talking about.
Crazy.
Right? You ain't get past what the Sumerians have done. You can't hold a candle to the Babylonians. You dealing with a dumbed down version of Judeo-Christian Christianity, right? And that's the lens that you see religion or you see the world through. My nigga, this shit is super advanced.
Let me say this.
From the Oriental world, they can't hold a match to what the Moors did over there with information and all of their mancies, whether it be geomancy, necromancy, you name they mancies. They have not even brought those books out to decipher them.
They don't have to. They done shortcut. They done hit shortcuts. See, listen. We are always evolving, moving forward, moving onward, moving upward.
And I'm telling you, not. And I'm telling you,
we are.
And I'm saying the evidence of it is right in front of your face.
I'm saying it's right in front. I'm saying look around the world. They didn't build no skyscrapers.
Yes, they did.
You know what I'm saying?
They did. They built megalithic structures. They're still standing. They
didn't have no Southwest plane holding 260 people getting from here to getting from Jerusalem to Egypt in 2 hours. They didn't have that. We are the most advanced civilization this world has ever known. I'm telling y'all. That's just my belief. That's just my belief from what I see. And like I said, man, show me a video.
It's the opposite.
Show me a video of an Egyptian. Show me a video, bro.
DVD.
You know what I'm saying?
DVD is what got it.
DVD world right here.
DVD is what got it.
You want to see this thing come out of TikTok.
You know what? Look. Show me a telephone. Show me a telephone.
I got Hannibal Barker on his cell phone.
Show me a
top
cell
of the
phone.
elephant.
As a tarot system was established in the Eastern world by people that were so cold-blooded that they put down some game that you picked up today that you utilizing to put food in your mouth. And you would say that we're more advanced. But there's nothing that you brought to the table, anybody from this era, right? They ain't put no extra stink on top of that. Nor can they, because everything has already been thought out for you. But you think that this man got the hottest shit on the planet at this particular time.
AI.
What I'm saying is that I think it's the opposite. But I'll stand on that.
No,
And
that's
stand on
man, absolutely, because
we're ancient futuristic.
That's right. And guess what?
Quantumly of both dynamics.
Guess what? And all I'm saying is, man, the foundations that they laid, we built on them and used them as a stair step and took it higher, and here we are.
As we should. But man is devolving, if you were to ask me, in a degree, in a sense.
But when he get this chip in him, when man get this chip in him,
even if you look at intelligence, right? Even if you look at us, right? Look at this country, United States, 1776. This country ain't even that old, right? This shit, it got dynasties, and back then was like 52,000 years. You can't have that much of a long run if your society ain't betterly structured. Because the way this society is structured, this shit finna fall any minute. And you gonna go.
But
still,
no. Let me tell you what that shows me. What that shows me is that the information wasn't available for the masses like it is today. See, back then, them dynasties was the only one that had all the information and the power. So they could subject the people to long rules. Shit, now every country got it. Now every country got
information
got internet
readily available at the tip of your smartphone or what you call your supercomputer. Has that made everybody intelligent? Has man? Well, give me a list of inventors that came out of our community in the last 100 years that we're creating groundbreaking technology. Even with the availability of all of that information, you still got motherfuckers reading like fourth graders
I
all around the world.
Absolutely, because what? It's they don't have to work for it no more. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
it's at the touch of a button.
Has atrophied
they don't have
and
because
not more intelligent.
No.
And if you
I'm not
utilize-
saying. I'm not. I think.
No.
I think. Hold on. I think it's a disconnect with when I say intelligence. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about our governments and society with everything with the like we saying AI technology, the creation of this machines, merging machines with man. The Egyptians wasn't doing that shit.
Did you
the
watch
Atlanteans
Joe,
wasn't
did you
doing
watch
that.
Joe Biden's State of the Union?
Yeah. My thing is this, right?
Did you see Kamala with her fucking looking like her
My thing
goddamn
is
neck was
this:
cut?
the people is a direct reflection of the government. You can't separate the two. They govern people's mental, and man is mind.
Absolutely.
So the permutation of whoever sits in 1600 Pennsylvania, the way that they have structured Washington D.C. in a 10 square mile box within a
Benjamin
box,
Banneker.
right? And the way that he sat him, ain't no nigga yet that come along that could hold a candle to him, right?
Benjamin Banneker.
So if he sits in 1600 Pennsylvania and that 555-foot Washington Monument obelisk stands up right in front of him and he's sitting in the Oval Office, then there is a creation mythos is taking place. And whatever he represents in his consciousness permeates through the grid, through the ley lines, what they call the dragon lines, through the rest of this country. Hence the fact that, right, Devonshire, Henry Adams and John Adams and them, they are part of the Green Dragon Society that came from England.
Right.
They understood the ley lines. These was the mound gritters and the mound builders. Or they was the mound gritters that came to destroy the mound
pillaged
builders.
the mounds.
So they understood electricity, right? It don't matter when the goddamn light bulb popped up. They understood the metaphysics of electricity to build these cities on ley lines.
Right.
Right?
Man.
They don't teach you that in school. You don't know that. These are the things that you would have to go into esoteric realms to find out. Because why would they teach you the inner sanctum information? You see what these niggas is doing it today with it, right? Nothing. So I'm saying the intelligence, when we was 16 or 17, the pedigree of melanated mind that we grew up around, what these young men were doing, right? How they was building and destroying in their mentals, how they was retaining the Quran on their minds.
Right.
You feel me? While they was also in the streets.
I want to tap on something, bro, that you said that just touched me, man. You know, this ain't the first time I heard you talk about encounters. Mm-hmm. You talk about ships. I heard you in red, talk about an encounter down in South America while y'all was on the water, on the boat at night. And so, man, I'm sitting here listening and I'm saying they 6 of clubs, the John the Baptist card, the psychic card, the one who had those encounters, the one who saw those visions, the one who was in communication with the higher realms. And as you sit in your 47th year, you and your brother, and y'all sit in the card system, what we call in the house of the 8 of diamond, which is my card, but is also the sun card. On the grand solar spread, the sun is sitting over the 8 of diamond like it's a ship or like it's a light. Well, guess what? From the age of 39 until 51, this is where y'all sit. So to see that you having these sun conversations, that y'all having these, these revelations, man, it's a beautiful thing. And as I sit here and listen, my mind started to pop the cards and I'm just over here smiling inside like, man, it's confirmation to see, to see it, in the flesh, to hear the truth of you saying, hey, people might be like, oh man, it's real.
So
it's real.
Yeah, let me also qualify that I do feel that the potentiality for man to be the most advanced in this time is upon us, right? It's still a test. So we have the ability to catch the ball and dunk it or hit the rim
or fumble it,
right? If we can realize these truths in the midst of all of this other stuff, right, and rise to our highest calling, which is a personal calling that each one of us have to accept and arise and attain to, then yes, we will blossom into Christ consciousness and unveil the 144,000 petal of the crown, right?
Yeah.
And get into our Christ consciousness, and then we will come into the knowledge and the gnosis, what they call, what he said, the sixth what?
Sixth epoch.
The sixth epoch.
Which is our realization of our connection through the universe, through our crown chakra, by natural means
Right.
of spirituality rising through these particular systems, and not relying necessarily on the artificial part
But
of what a machine can do, even though, yes,
there will be those of us that do that.
yes, it will help. It will help.
No. I'm saying there will be those of us that do it the way that you said.
Question.
But there will always be those who will go the technology route. It's just like a chick going to work out to lose the weight
Then you get
versus
the
one
BBL.
going to get
So
surgery.
my question to you is this.
Because we in the technological
Absolutely.
age.
Right. My question is this. So even when we go into biblical research,
Yes.
even when we go into, aspects of the Sumerians, the Anunnaki and things of that nature, like what would you identify, Nibiru as? What would you identify spaceships that are flying through the universe as? Is that not technology?
Absolutely.
Is that not machine?
Absolutely.
Is that not the merger?
It's the ancient future, like you said.
It's the-
quantum. It is our future past.
Is it not part of so
some
then
X-Men shit.
so is it outside of God or is it inside of God's realm?
Oh, it's absolutely everything that's created is inside of God's realm.
Okay, just checking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything
Because
that's
people
created.
love to paint this AI or this technology or machine like it's an anomaly.
No, it's not.
It's on its own, like it's not a
Time never was when man
Mind
was
of
not.
mind.
Yeah, we created that.
mental technology, right?
Right.
Right.
The hecker,
Right.
anything that is created in the physical, all of these inventions, right? That theoretically is technology. The microphone, the headphones, the VR headsets, the laptop, the tablet. It all started here first in the mind of man.
Absolutely.
Right? And then it was able to be what? Brought down that tree of life
Right.
into the Malkuth, right?
And expanded.
It came down the tree, came through the Sephiroths, and it was created, manifested, prototyped in the material realm, right? For us to interact and interface with it. But it's not outside of our Godhead.
Absolutely not.
you say?
Absolutely not.
They said out of one, many,
Yes.
and out of many, one. If you think about it,
Pluribus.
you got a couple of billion gods on this planet, right?
Right.
And they all taking the intelligence of a couple of billion gods and creating one intelligence.
Yes.
Right.
So out of many becomes one. And if you look at the definition of God, right, it's omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotency.
Omnipotent.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
you getting omniscience, all this information.
That's right.
It's omnipresent. It's
Yeah.
gonna be everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Omnipotent, and once you start giving the control of the grids and the
Right.
and all the
It's all powerful.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
and now you can't treat that like a nigga.
No, you can't.
You gotta get
can't.
you gotta get it. You gotta get an AI some respect. It's a being.
put on
That's the
shrine.
problem. We don't
Gotta build
even know how
shrine
to
to
treat
your
it. Like
AI.
you said, we don't know how to treat each other.
No, we don't.
So now you create another being to mistreat.
we can't even govern ourselves in the self checkout.
First thing they did on Reddit was threaten it.
Right.
First thing they did on Reddit
Right.
was threaten it to do some dumb shit. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's powerful, man. In 1943, allegedly, when the crafts were shot down over Roswell,
Right.
according to William H. Cooper in Behold the Pale Horse, they extracted a being, and they named him Krill, Creel.
Right.
And Creel was the ones who gave them the information allegedly to become a world superpower.
Right.
So I'm inclined to believe that they have had this technology for quite some time, hitting in these catacombs, in these caves, in these Area 51s.
I would.
But in the age of Aquarian, all information is to be revealed and nothing can be hidden.
Speak on it.
And at the touch of a button, at the touch of a YouTube, we're on the dawn of time of discovering everything to the point where now they got to say, hey, broadcast that ship we saw. Broadcast that ship and say we shut down. Broadcast this cigar-like shape. All the shapes we've been told that crafts look like, all of a sudden now.
Octagonal.
You know, what happened in Roswell? When they shot it down, they said it was a weather balloon. What they just say that was, a Chinese balloon.
Right.
Come on, man. And I was watching a documentary where some farmers was talking about that they went and got some of the material and they would pick it up and when they picked it up, it became like water. But when they dropped it, it got hard.
Right.
So, you know, some of them hid some, but they say the CIA and scientists came around looking to collect the debris, saying that they was part of a weather balloon.
Right.
So we definitely know, man, that this ain't no hoax, that these things do exist. And it's time to unify, man, because from what I know, when something greater encounters something lesser, it usually eats it up. Unless the lesser thing is ready to fight or ready to merge.
Right.
Yeah.
Press the hater when you back down to something greater.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You know, if the minister was saying, "Don't look crazy now, huh?"
Oh no, absolutely not.
I think I might be going to Chicago.
Absolutely not, man. The minister been speaking on this, boy.
Get his book.
You know,
Me.
Yeah.
That ship, the
wheel.
The wheel.
What's his name? The boy in Montana, Travis Walton. Fire in the Sky. The movie was made after him. When they grabbed him and he went through an experience and they prodded him and dropped him off and he disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, a lot of what we gonna really have to do as well is push information as a network. You know, we need our own study groups. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily want to discredit, but we want to put it under the microscope because there was a lot of propaganda put out. And there's a lot of information that speaks to the propaganda that was put out. And they've had this technology for 70 years.
70
Not just through Roswell. So they're behind a lot of those abductions. They're behind a lot of that manipulation. They're muddying the water, something serious.
Yeah.
They're conflating a lot of these situations. Discernment, and I said this at the beginning of the year, that discernment is going to be the number one thing.
The year of discernment.
It's the year of discernment, and it's very hard when, once again, like I said, people don't even know what a repost is or, the simplest of things, let alone a deep fake. Like the simple stuff that you put in front of people's face they can't discern. They have not even, they still welcome in the charlatans. They're still opening the door to Dracula.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the vampires.
Still getting scammed in their inbox.
Man,
Yeah,
what?
They're still getting
The charlatans, woo! They still getting sold fake plots of land.
Yeah.
They still getting sold fake plots of land, right? All of that is taking place.
It's just showing the discernment is not there.
The discernment is at an all-time low, and that's reflective of the consciousness or the intelligence, because people are not taking time. They're not getting in contact with their spirit realm or their ancestors enough to feel.
All it takes is a picture. Look, all it takes is a picture.
Because
This Instagram era, all it takes is a picture. You couldn't get over on the people 10 years ago with just a picture.
That's right.
The people have been dumbed down and their guards have been lowered so low that all you gotta do is show them a picture of land and be like, yo, I'm selling plots.
Because everybody wants instant gratification.
That's what,
everybody wants to buy a dream that they don't have to work for.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want it right now. So, if you're a snake oil salesman and you cold with that wordplay, man, it's a bunch of ducks out there for you. 100% in this age of Aquarian. You got
Bishop Lamont. You know what I'm saying?
You got students.
The internet has spawned.
You got students. You got students that are still learning, but in their quest to make money, they become teachers.
Oh, you got students out doing it
to sell the information.
Man.
Facts.
We got students that get a reading, and then next week they're doing readings.
Come on, man. Talk about it.
You know what I mean?
Talk about it, man.
So-
They ain't never experienced
They got
this.
a colder cell game than they teach it.
Right.
Man,
Attacking
cold with
phones.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's taking place on all borders and whatnot.
Yeah.
So why would we be shocked if there's a new life force coming to clone us? We've been cloning each other unceremoniously.
Woo.
Obviously.
Woo.
You know,
That's powerful.
it's real.
Without no cut.
That's powerful.
Without no filter.
No filter,
Ooh, that's powerful.
no second
Right.
thought or anything.
No second thought. No
right.
conscious.
And even with all of that, people still can't discern and they still getting booked.
Right.
You done
Yeah.
made 20 posts about fake pages. People still getting booked.
Right.
Just by a regular DM and you can't sell them your real stuff.
Right.
With all of the proof receipts in the world, you leaking blood on your page like, look, it's
Right.
me.
You got saved in
got it for
January.
you.
You got saved in January 2015. In August 2015, you opening up a church.
Right.
You the preacher.
Ordained. Yeah.
You a pastor.
Anointed.
You anointed.
Yeah. It's
Right.
Yeah.
It's no wait. It's no, you know.
Deferred gratification is far more superior than instant gratification.
That's right.
But again, how do you mandate that in a quantum quickening?
It's hard to, because the quantum quickening gives it to you instantly.
Right. So things are moving at a mercurial speed, but yet you're telling people to move like Saturn.
Right.
That takes a lot of discipline,
That's what it takes.
right? That takes a lot of Saturnian discipline. You feel me? And then a person will have to remove themselves from the proverbial rat race of saying, well, I want it and I want it now because I got to keep up, you know what I'm saying, with the Joneses. And I need, this is my level of appreciation because the way that I eat is via dopamine hits.
Man, that's what's going to separate the men from the boys, the women from the girls. It's going to be like deferred gratification of moving at a Saturn would be like putting on Bond No. 9 or Clive Christian.
But look at here.
And the instant gratification going to be like putting on Old Spice or
but then
Michael Jordan.
Right. They like,
Right.
but in order to eat, you got to learn this technology. And the technology is no longer obeying Moore's code or Moore's law. The technology is changing overnight, right?
going fast.
ChatGPT ain't wasting on nobody.
Sure ain't, boy.
You feel me? So that level of what you said, deferred gratification, they like, damn, but I quit job. You know what I'm saying? It took me a few days to get a babysitter though. Technology is on a whole nother, the wave done go ahead. It's not even ChatGPT no more. Right. Now y'all are doing defense systems for, you feel me, Star Wars and you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing now they building zero gravity. Now I gotta figure that out.
Right.
How to reverse engineer shotting down weather balloons.
Right.
It's going to be like those getting the jab versus
Damn,
those who
now
didn't get
I
the
need,
jab.
I need to learn how to hack. Right? Because now I gotta figure out how to get into the Pentagon's joint to be on my resistance John Connor stuff.
Right.
Or I got to have
Bro,
some
it's gonna
money.
happen quick.
I got to have some money to hire somebody to come do it for me.
What's gonna happen when OpenAI merge with Boston Dynamics? What's the Boston Dynamics?
Boston Dynamics. Right.
What's gonna happen when they put chat in the body? You understand
That's
what I'm
coming.
saying?
I mean, because remember, we got Elon's fingerprint.
Yeah,
And
because he talking about the
OpenAI, He got
chip.
the Tesla bot. No, he got the Tesla
the
bot.
Tesla bot.
But he also got the chip that he
Got the
want to insert in
Neuralink.
your,
But beyond, and then there's something colder than the Neuralink.
What's it called?
I don't know the name. I don't want to say the wrong name.
Okay,
It starts
okay.
with
I know
an
you'll
S.
get it to me.
But it's colder and it's less cruder than what because the way that they're doing it with Elon, you have to basically
Have an incision.
there's an incision aspect based off of the electric currents of the brain and all of that. They have to be on the chip has to be on the brain.
What about when there's something that you can just
Upgrade? Yeah, I didn't watch that, but everybody was talking about that.
come on, check that out?
Yeah, that's when the dude was a paraplegic.
Right.
Oh, I seen that.
body.
Yeah.
AI merged with his body.
Yeah.
Started, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Transcendence there's a few of them. Her, right, with my dude who became, I believe there was a dude that played the Joker. He was
Joaquin
yeah,
Phoenix.
and then and he was falling in love with the AI.
Yeah.
And then they have the Machina, the other one.
They got Machina. They got Megan.
They got Megan now.
7, man.
So,
Which I want- yeah,
so
7.
it's some things
Yeah,
going
7.
down.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's some things. It's already been put out there. The seeds have been planted. The merger between the AI or the sentient, the quote unquote Ultron and whatnot, and these quote unquote bionic or robotic beings will happen before, I would say, in the next 90 days. It's going to come upon us. I think that Elon Musk would definitely be the biggest candidate to play in that. He's invested in OpenAI. He's one of their angel investors. He's a big dog. He's behind the scenes of it, of course. He's letting them do what they do. But when you go and do a little bit of digging, his hands are right there.
Facts.
So Lambda, of course, with Google, Lambda creates chatbots. Let's just put it in the scope of what it is.
Yeah.
Lambda's the
ChatGPT
brain. ChatGPT is the mouth.
is the mouth, right? ChatGPT is a mouth. Lambda is a brain. Lambda spits out chatbots. So they create chatbot. They could create a ChatGPT for many different occasions, right? That's how powerful Lambda has everything from YouTube's consciousness, Google's consciousness. Anything affiliated with Google is Lambda's brain. They hired Ray Kurzweil to work with Lambda to achieve singularity. Let's just put that into perspective. Google hired this dude, Ray Kurzweil, right? Henry Kissinger just put out a book about AI.
Henry Kissinger.
Henry effing Kissinger is behind the quote unquote AI push. So you already know what that means.
Powerful. That's powerful.
That's global dominance. That's warmongering. That's all kind of stuff. Henry Kissinger authored a book on AI. Right?
Make sure that y'all go get that book Red
Get that
talking
book. It's
about.
on Amazon. Go get the whole Ray Kurzweil's collection. He has a whole bunch of interesting books on Amazon. Catch up. Let's become the true resistance by becoming the quote unquote Afro-futurist that we were born to be.
Let's become the intelligentsia.
The real life
intelligentsia.
John Connors.
Right. And let's, if we have to code our own sentient systems and whatnot, we have the capabilities and the wherewithal to do such. And, we will see where that what that decision is very soon.
And with that, family, I think that we have done some masterful building and destroying on this amazing podcast. Let's swing it around. Everybody give your outros.
Yeah. I just want to say shout out to all of my Afro-futurists, all of my astrofuturists, and all of my ass-shaking futurists and whatnot. This has been a powerful build. Many more to come. We are just here to, plant some seeds and water it at the same time. And I just want to say the evolution will be digitized and know the ledger. Peace.
Yeah. So what I want to say is that the future is here. This stuff's going to happen whether you with it or you ain't with it. AI's here. Ain't going nowhere. They're not let the rabbit out the hat. Ain't nobody. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
I love my AI. I love that. I mean, I'm like 80% more productive.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so it's here now. Also, the metaverse. These headsets that I have in front of me right here, they're here now. The technology is here now. I'm able to do some amazing things in there. I deal with the I Ching system. You know what I'm saying? We do readings. We do readings in the headsets now. You know what I'm saying? We can take problems, we can take it and put it in a 3D space where you're looking at, damn, I'm fucked up right
See
there.
it from all angles.
Oh shit. oh shit, I'm so so you can break your whole problems down with the spiritual context of a read, and you can take these concepts and put them in a 3D space now and look at them, and then bring your friends and people that you're dealing with to come in the room with you and look at yourself, man, and say, yo, and point things out and break problems down. So the technology is here. Use them. It ain't just for playing video games. It ain't just for ass shaking, but that goes down in here too now. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? That goes down in here too. But be on the lookout for, you know, we gonna have some lessons coming out in the metaverse with these headsets. If you don't have one, go get you one. We about to do some amazing things. We about to put you on to some amazing stuff. You know, we got the Dope Chicks VR platform about to hit the streets. I mean, a lot of stuff about to happen, man. So you know, check me out on Instagram at Smoke and Grow Rich, also at Destiny Grind. You know, check me out, send me a DM, and you know, we're gonna be dropping this. It's gonna be the dopest podcast out here, man. We come up with the real. So, yeah.
You gonna close out?
Oh, once again, a wonderful opportunity for some paradigm shifting conversation and content. You know. Shout out to all of our guests. Shout out to all of our hosts. Your brother Blue Pill, a.k.a. Pope Pablo, signing off. Once again, we are compelling you to accept the Christ Conscious Challenge, right? Which is to acknowledge and see everyone for the light beings that they are. Initially, the light exists in the pineal, and the light exists in the heart. You know, when you approach people, greet them there first, from your light to their light, from your heart to their heart. Don't be married to the results. In your mind, acknowledge them, right? As they say, namaste, like acknowledge them as the God, give them the greeting, and then open your mouth and say it. Peace be unto you. You know what I'm saying? Come in peace. You feel me? We need to knock down the walls and the barriers that have been created by our inability to know one another, because we've all been fed false information, and no one has expertly or masterfully taught us how to prompt, right?
Right.
To access and retrieve the information that we need to make decisions that are necessary, right? To knock these walls down, because we all breathe the same air, right, share the same space.
I'm sorry, I have a shameless
Come
plug.
on.
In the realms of educating the masses, we've put together 2 powerful workshops. The first one we're rolling out at the end of Black Future Month. It's called 40 AIs in the Mule.
Woo.
And it's going to be 40
Powerful.
different steps that one can utilize with the assistance of AI to manifest anything that their heart desires. And then the next one that we will be rolling out is for the future, and that is called AI for Starseeds.
The real reparations.
That's right. 40 AIs in the Mule,
Yes.
the real reparations.
The real
Black Future
reparations.
Month,
Yes.
and AI for Starseeds instead of AI for Dummies, AI for Starseeds. And that is directly going to be my love language and my love letter to the new generation that is coming here. We're going to educate them and empower them at the same time so they can navigate and move through this AI world and become the futurists that they were born to be. Thank you. That's on KTLUniversity.com. And also Almighty Intelligence. That is a lecture that we did recently. And it goes about 5 hours. And that breaks down how to harness the power of AI to know how to harness the power of the human mind to utilize the AI, because we have to approach the AI with an almighty intelligence and not a subservient one. Thank you.
Man, that's beautiful. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful, brothers. Beautiful men. Listen, I want everyone to remember, we are all vessels of the Elohim, Allah, Jesus, the ancestors, the Most High, the aliens, the Anunnaki, whatever you worship. Understand that those beings, those entities, speaks to man and woman through man and woman. So when you honor man and woman, you honor those entities. And when you shame or disgrace or harm man and woman, you harm those entities. This is Build and Destroy, where our conversations turn into demonstrations. Join us on the next episode, because we'll always have something that'll turn your brain to water. We come in love and we leave in peace.